What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and all I'm gonna say is free Wendy. Like the video as the intro plays, we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense. You know what was
Get the god car.
I just seen a nigga pumping his gas from inside the car. Big news. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things.
Girl.
I'm a boy.
Hi, boy.
Hey,
How are you?
I'm all right.
Saucy Santana has started battle rapping or battling. I don't know if that's Bigo. I don't know if that's TikTok, but that was hilarious to me. Anyway. Oh, okay. We got a Wendy show. So I saw this on the Neighborhood Talk and reached out to the attorney to see exactly what this actually means for Wendy. But let me see if I have it on TMZ. We could do this one first. It says, judge rules that Wendy is prohibited from talking to the media until further notice. So I'm seeing that headline, and then I see that Wendy is on the Breakfast Club. So TMZ is the one that actually has the information. Let me see. Okay, here we go. It says, shout out to TMZ. Wendy Williams, 2-day furlough from luxury prison for dad's birthday. Wendy Williams will remain locked up indefinitely, but she got good news Friday. A judge will allow her to fly to Miami for her father's 94th birthday. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ the judge has authorized private security to accompany Wendy from NYC to Miami, where her dad will be celebrating with friends and family. Wendy will be there for 2 days and then fly back to NYC, where she is confined in a studio apartment and an assisted living facility. Let me see. We don't really need to get into that because we'll watch this clip really quickly. Let's go back to the Neighborhood Talk. Okay. Though this was a win for Wendy, the downside is the same judge ruled that she can no longer have contact with the media. So I was like, talking to the attorney, I was like, is that considered an injunction? She said, no, that would actually be considered a court order. So right now, if we are to believe this, Wendy has a court order in place that says she's not supposed to be talking to any media. And then we get her talking to the Breakfast Club. I watched, now that we have a little bit more information, I rewatched Wendy on her scooter, which y'all told me y'all definitely want to be added to the roster. So we will be playing the
Get the god car.
Y'all wanted to get the goddamn car, so y'all got to get the goddamn car. So I want to first start with TMZ. Because I don't know if this TMZ footage will help or hurt Wendy. We all saw this video, or we all saw this image over the weekend. Let me let you hear TMZ explain why they showed it. TMZ does not play though, so we are not going to show the video.
Part of the documentary, before the judge allowed her this trip, this 2-day trip to Florida, this is how important it was to Wendy. Your dad is turning 94 in February, and he's up there in age. And I know you want to go to Miami to see him and celebrate his birthday because you don't know how many more there are going to be.
Right, exactly.
That must be important for you.
It's extremely important. It's extremely important to see my dad for his birthday, you know, and that is a family thing. It's not just a me thing, you know. I would wish that along with celebrating my dad's 94th birthday, that we as a family, we come together in peace and harmony. That's what I wish for my dad.
This is a woman who the judge and this guardian say has frontotemporal dementia and that she cannot care for herself. I have been on the phone with Wendy Williams for hours and hours and hours over the last 3 weeks. This woman is the Wendy Williams from 10 years ago. She had a problem with alcohol and she was off the rails.
Okay. Couple things, because we'll hear somebody says they told her she can't speak to the media after Breakfast Club and TMZ. Right. But this court order was last week. We're going to review Wendy talking to the Breakfast Club today. No, the court order was last week when they allowed her the ability to go see her family. They also put in an order that says she was no longer allowed to talk to the media. So technically, the interview today was a violation of that, which is why I reached out to the attorney. And we'll get into what some of the remedies might be, unfortunately, for her conservator after this interview, you know, aired this morning. I'm not really feeling them. I don't know if it was Wendy's idea or their idea, but for this to be the image all over, I don't know that moves the needle. We already know that Wendy's in a situation that she's finding it hard to get out of. I do think that TMZ, although she is fond of them, they have done some things and aired some things like Wendy holding up her foot. That does make me kind of side-eye them. It definitely makes me side-eye them. Let me get into this, though. This was the Breakfast Club interview that she did today. And again, I like the interview style with Jason Lee, with Charlemagne, not so much TMZ and not so much Don Lemon. I already got a lot of flack for saying I didn't like the Don Lemon interview, and I still stand by what I said.
It's up in the morning. Breakfast.
So look, I have some things to get off my chest.
Oh, that's what we do here. We have a segment called Get It Off Your Chest, actually.
That's right.
Perfect. Well, you know, there's this lawsuit saying that the lawsuit is with Lifetime and A&E. And it's the lawsuit that I've been told I stand to win $20 million.
Now, what was the, let's refresh people on what the lawsuit was. What was the lawsuit, Lauren?
The lawsuit was that 4-part thing starring me on TV, which I only watched once, and I will never watch again in life. It was disgusting. And by the way, I watched it with my guardianship person, you know. Yes, we watched that together. And that was the first time that this guardianship person was like, oh my gosh. And she was writing stuff down and I was looking like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. What happened with this? You know, I was, you know, to do that TV thing, it was 2 people who I won't say their names, but I can say 1 white woman and 1 black man.
Okay, and I read the court documents. You're talking about Sabrina Morrissey and Will Selby.
Anyway, they brokered, I don't know, a deal on behalf of me. Mm-hmm. And what kind of deal? I have no idea. I guess the clothing, the location.
I wish you would get liposuction. Okay.
This is Will Selby. I never liked Will for Wendy, but we just got to have a real conversation. When he took over as Wendy's manager, as Wendy's friend, it was problematic. This man sells jewelry. If we're going to have a real talk, we're going to have a real talk. At the time that Wendy signed on to do that A&E documentary, Wendy, from what we saw, was in the throes of addiction. Will is, in my opinion, the type of person who sees a money-making opportunity. Wendy didn't have access to her money, so Wendy utilized Will, who, from what we saw, when she was still with Will as her manager, she was able to get access to liquor. again, this is a real conversation. Wendy did not want to stay with her son nor her sister because her son and her sister had her on the right track. And that was the old Wendy, the Wendy in the throes of addiction. Through the Annie documentary, through the conservator or whomever, they got Wendy in rehab. And so now what we're seeing right now is Wendy in a much better place, very lucid, able to speak very freely, speak about what she's going through in a way that we understand. I mean, I love Wendy, but I'm not going to lie. Certain parts from that documentary were very telling. It was sad, but it was her real reality.
I will smoke when I smoke, and I will liquor when I liquor.
She's not the same lady. But Will, in my opinion, was definitely a part of that problem. And we saw it all the way through the documentary. Now, this publicist, I said a lot of shit about her. As always, somebody comes back, tells me, okay, well, I know her and she's a nice girl. I don't take it back. I definitely think she saw the ability to make money off Wendy, just like Will did. And that's why she took Wendy when Wendy was not actually ready to LA to try to jumpstart her career or restart her career. I don't like her. I'm sure she's a nice lady, but from my vantage point, I don't necessarily think she's a great person. Sorry to this woman. I'm not sorry to Will.
The money, the money is blood money. It's money I don't want. Charlamagne, you and I have known each other for a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And we've got good money. Isn't there such thing to you as blood money, like money you don't want? You don't care what amount of money it is.
I can remember a check you had to write when we worked together at WBLS, and you put that on the check. You put 4 blood money.
Thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You didn't approve that you had to write the check, and you put 4 blood money. So you've been pretty consistent about this your whole life.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, look, I'm dealing with these court people and my guardian person, and that is a big deal. So you know what? I don't have frontal temporal dementia. You know what I'm saying? It's disgusting. That is a very rare thing for anybody to have. You understand what I'm saying? It's like one of those types of things where I'd be a blibbering idiot. Like I can't take a shower. I can't dress myself. I can't speak. I can't listen. I can't. I can't.
Well, Wendy, who dressed you when you was in the window for that TMZ doc? Because that was nice. You had the black cat suit on with the wig and the lipstick.
Well, excuse me. That was me doing for myself. You know what I'm saying? With a few bits of clothing that I got from storage. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? It was it's real. I'm on the 5th floor, and the 5th floor, as I told you, this is called the memory unit. It is for the people who live here that I guess don't remember anything at all. And I've seen the people. When I order lunch. You know what I'm saying? And they're not bad people. They're older, and I don't care if they're my age group. You know what I'm saying? Clearly. Like, who are these people? Why am I here? You know what I'm saying? And by the way, as I told you before, to take the elevator, it's a locked unit on the 5th floor. You know what I'm saying? The memory unit floor.
Well,
literally, I do everything in the bedroom. There's a gym to work out here, and I've yet for my guardian person to make this person or whatever, so I can work out.
Sabrina
Using
Morrissey.
my money.
Sabrina Morrissey.
You know what I'm saying?
Sabrina Morrissey is her name.
She can't even go to the gym.
Again, that's why I like Charlamagne in this situation, because he doesn't make her say things that could get her back in court with the court order saying she can't talk to the media. Of course, the conservator doesn't want her talking to the media. Wendy could be on the path to her own Free Britney movement, right? I mean, there's so many parallels to the stories. The conservator, I'm assuming, based on Wendy's interviews, that there's names that she's not supposed to say, and one of those would be Sabrina Morrissey. And I felt like Don was really pushing Wendy to places where potentially she got in trouble. Charlamagne is not doing that to her. Charlamagne clearly knows the talking points, and so he's pushing it. Sabrina Morrissey is the woman's name. I don't need to show you all that scary looking lady's photo no more.
Well, yes. In the meantime, I am not incapacitated. I am not a baby. You know what I'm saying? But I guess for Lifetime A&E, I stand to win all that money, so I'm supposed to be a blubbering idiot. You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying, Wendy, is the lawsuit that was filed by Sabrina Morrissey, acting in her capacity as your guardian. She brought a lawsuit against A&E, and it claimed that the contract the company brokered to shoot the documentary wasn't valid since you didn't have the legal or mental capacity to authorize your participation in the title at the time.
Listen, I have to tell you something about
since you didn't have the legal or mental capacity to authorize your participation in the title at the time.
Listen, I have to tell you something about my life. You know what I'm saying? And Charlamagne, you've known me for a long enough time. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had liquor in years now. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you know, who doesn't go through problems in their life? You know, divorce, this, that, and the third, you know, and then all of a sudden I got involved with this guardianship person, a judge, attorney.
And I maintain that the only reason that Wendy Williams has a guardian and the person who is homeless on the corner who might suffer from the same type of dementia is because Wendy has money. This is a business. This is a business. From Sabrina to the handlers who are taking her to Miami. When we saw this outburst from Wendy, now we know exactly where the outburst came from.
Get the God car.
She's visiting her family. She's having to pay these people who are traveling with her and making sure she doesn't really have real conversations with her family because she's under conservatorship. So she was pissed and she was annoyed. And that's why you see her lash out. Hindsight is 2020.
Like, my life has been.
Hold on, no, Wendy. One thing at a time. Sabrina Morrissey.
Okay, no, wait, whoa. Let me just address one important thing, okay? I have been liquor free for years. And listen, it is not a big.
This was this morning. She's had 2 interviews with the Breakfast Club.
Deal when somebody around me, you know what I'm saying, enjoys what they enjoy, you know what I'm saying? But that is not for me. You want to know why? Because I want to be sharp and tight, you know what I'm saying? Because when I get out of this guardianship, I don't even want to go into it, but I've already told you about it, Charlamagne.
Yes, you
how I feel,
yes,
and the way I'm going to move.
You said you want to date and fuck.
Oh my God.
No. Aside from that, I mean, please, that's a regular.
Stuff. I think you talking about the business stuff, right? And just enjoying your life, Wendy. He done took it somewhere else.
Listen. I want to get. I want to be.
Wendy says she's gonna be dipping it and doing it after she's free. So wasn't too far off.
In a lovely relationship with one person forever. In order to do that, you have to date. You have to date a lot. But that's not what I'm talking about so much, though. Listen, I've been in this guardianship for this long of an amount of time, and now A&E Lifetime, this lawsuit. Please, I don't want that. I don't want a dime from that. I don't want any part of that. You know what I'm saying? They insist on me telling everybody that I have frontal temporal dementia. You know, Robbie Kaplan went on TMZ and talked about it. Now, I love TMZ. You know what I'm saying? And I'm watching, and they're talking about me. And I'm like, oh, my God, this person, Robbie Kaplan, is saying that, oh, my gosh, that Wendy has good days and bad days. And when she says, and like, excuse me, frontal temporal dementia is a very, very serious thing and very rare, I might add.
Well,
how dare? Like of all the things that you come up with, you know what I'm saying?
I was looking at these court documents, and the one thing that stood out to me, it said because there is no single diagnostic test for FTD, the frontal dementia, the process for diagnosing it on average takes more than 3 years from the disease's onset. How can they keep saying you have it when it takes 3 years to diagnose?
Well, they've taken away my phone, so I can't, you know, scroll stuff on my phone to learn about things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't.
Now, guys, this is also what the conservator does not want. We are actually getting an inside look into what her legal defense will be as to why she does not need a conservator. See, the worst thing that could happen for these conservators is for Wendy to get sober and not need them and have these type of lucid conversations. And technically, you can be under conservatorship and retain your own counsel so that your counsel can advocate for, if you're forced into a conservatorship, those things that are your non-negotiables, especially if you're in a place to have non-negotiables. So she's well within her right to retain her own attorney. She just can't technically use her money that the conservator has control of. Like, that's the issue. That's why she did the GoFundMe. They're not going to pay for you to fight them, basically, with your money. It's crazy.
On my phone, you know, this woman has my phone. You know, this woman has my life, basically. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, I told you where I am. It goes between, like, I told you where I'm living, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't want to go over that. It's very expensive, you know. But, you know, this whole thing about frontal temporal dementia is ridiculous. And I don't want this lawsuit. I don't want it at all. I want a shout out, though, to the people at Lifetime. You know, I've been in business with them before. You know what I'm saying? I did a couple of things there. They're good people to me.
Now, this is problematic. And I'll finish it and then I'll tell you why. But this portion of the segment is problematic.
Well, and I would love to do business with them again.
So you did.
This is not about Lifetime. So it's about these two people.
So you're basically saying, Sabrina, it's not true that you didn't have the legal or mental capacity to authorize. You did have the legal or mental capacity to authorize your participation in the title. They just told you that it would be positive and beneficial to you.
Excuse me. And you want to know what? And don't forget about the black man. You know the black man's name.
Will Selby. Yes.
Oh my God. Like Will Selby is like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, really, Will?
So you don't want the lawsuit against Lifetime because you didn't you signed it knowing what you were signing.
No, I didn't know what I was signing. I guess. You know what? It was so long ago. There were so many people in the apartment from Lifetime A&E. Lifetime. You know, there's so many people in my apartment. There were so many people when we were going out. There were a lot of people. And
now, y'all, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. If Wendy is just speaking truthfully, like if Wendy is just speaking truthfully right now, this segment could present a problem for her. To say that they ask you, did you know what you were signing? And she says, no. Then she says, yes. Then she goes back to, I don't know. For the Guardian, then the Guardian would then, and the Guardian's attorney for Wendy would argue that she signed that contract when she was not mentally capable of doing so, which would then void the contract and then make Lifetime liable. I don't know that it's a bad idea for Wendy to get some more money from Lifetime. To be honest, when I saw the documentary, I did not feel like they protected Wendy. We got the real Wendy, but a judge could view that and say she's not able to take care of herself. So I don't know. I think Lifetime probably should pay her something because just by her own admission, she didn't technically really know what she was signing. I think that there should be a lawsuit against Will Selby. Now, here is the conspiracy theory. Maybe she's trying to F up the lawsuit against Lifetime by saying some of these things, by saying that she was aware of what was going on, and then that way that lawsuit doesn't hurt Lifetime. I don't really think she should be protecting a big company. We did see she had a couple movies with them. I think she produced some movies that were like scripted, and then she did her own life story, and then she did the documentary. I don't think that Lifetime would no longer do business with her because the conservator is suing. I don't think that that's the case.
And I was, along for the ride because I'm the star. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
So when she began, because A&E is saying that you were not mentally incapacitated when you signed the agreement for the documentary that they did, but then Sabrina came out and said that they were taking advantage of you because you couldn't make any of your own business decisions. Like, was there a conversation that Sabrina had with you before she filed her, like, the claims? Like, what was that about? Did you tell her you didn't want the lawsuit?
I don't know anything about Sabrina as far as that. Like I said, I only know about that person when we watched it together on TV. She was never a part of this. I always said to myself, oh, well, what does the Guardian do for me other than keep my money safe, allegedly?
Well, at this
I'm talking about money, allegedly, because now, my Guardian person is represented by this expensive law firm, right? Did I talk to you about this, Charlemagne?
I don't think so.
Well,
I don't think you have to get into all of that, but the moral of the story is you.
But excuse me, but it's my money. It's my money that my Guardian is using regarding this lawsuit, and my money is slowly, I guess, dwindling away. I have no idea. You know what I'm saying? My wallet is depleted with a few dollars. You understand? And I've been in this situation for over 3 years.
I was about to say that, Wendy. According to reports, you were put into the conservatorship May 2022. So if that, front temporal dementia takes 3 years, right now it would be really difficult for you to, just track this conversation you're having with us because it's 2025.
Very, very valid point. They diagnosed her without actually doing it's like a 3-year process to diagnose somebody with frontal lobe dementia. So we are witnessing exactly what they're going to be talking about in court. How she diagnosed this easily and then just put in a home. Has she been evaluated since by a team of doctors that are not affiliated in any way with the court or with her attorney? There's something fishy going on.
It's a very serious and rare disease, frontal temporal dementia. Yep. If you call it a disease, I have no idea.
Yeah, it feels like when you signed this contract for the show, you knew you was participating in the show. You just didn't know that they was going to make you look the way that they made you look. And now that she's...
Listen. It was only one time, and we were at, a court thing, you know what I'm saying? And they were talking about it, and they were talking about, and I said, Oh, what are you talking about? I would win what? $1 million?
I hope I get your name right. Des says it is not a 3-year process. That is false. It is on average how long it takes. However, you can diagnose someone the FTD in less time. I know as a psychiatrist. All right, thank you. I always appreciate the insight. I still think Wendy and them are going to argue that it's 3 years.
And I was told, oh, no. You know what I'm saying?
You mean when you
and
said
I didn't ask how much because it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? At first I was like, well, okay, I guess. But quickly, you know, like the day later, I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. And I'll continue to say, I don't want that. I don't want the lawsuit. I don't want to be a part of it. You know, if my guardian person wants money from her, then she can do the suing on her behalf, and she could be the one to get the money. Not me. It is blood money. I don't want it.
So once again, Wendy, they had she's saying you didn't have the legal or mental capacity to authorize your participation. You're saying you did.
And that you met one time, and after that you changed your mind?
Hold on. I'll do this real quick. Happy birthday, Butterfly Mom. I hope you have a really, really great one. I hope yours is 10 times better than mine. Happy birthday. And we have one more. Sheila says, hey, man, was finally called alive, and thank you for being a member for 3 months. I appreciate you. Guys, if you were in here, definitely hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe.
Correct. And by the way, you know, like I said, I don't want that kind of money. You know, I've worked with Lifetime several times. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Enough that I would love to do something with Lifetime again. They are good people to me, and I'm good people to them.
Absolutely. So okay, we got it. So that's the moral of the story. Are you going to be able to go see your father? They said you.
Well, I thought that I was, and now it is. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's not definite anymore.
Yes. Like I said, I don't want that kind of money. You know, I've worked with Lifetime several times. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Enough that I would love to do something with Lifetime again. They are good people to me, and I'm good people to them.
Absolutely. So okay, we got it. So that's the moral of the story. Are you going to be able to go see your father? They said you.
Well, I thought that I was, and now it is. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but it's not definite anymore.
Yes. Excuse me.
Sorry.
But I do say that, you know, I want to shout out to some people who've been very good to me.
Okay.
Including Charlemagne specifically, and Lauren, you too. But listen, it is about Harvey Levin at TMZ. You know, Charlemagne, you and I have talked with Harvey, and that spectacular thing starring me happens next Wednesday, the 12th.
February 12th.
On Tubi. Yep, yes. On Tubi.
Yes, you know, we have Jess Hilarious here. She's a Tubi star. And the
Are you?
Yes.
She's been in a lot of movies on Tubi.
And the Breakfast Club comes on Tubi. Yeah.
Thank you, Wendy.
Wow.
It's not about
I also want to give good talk to, because I love my attorney. My attorney is Sabatu. I don't want to say the wrong last name. Sabatu. Salmon.
Sabatu Simmons?
You brought in a new attorney.
No, not Simmons. That's Russell Simmons. How dare you? No, Sabatu Salmon.
Salmon. Okay.
No, Salmon, yeah.
So that's your new attorney?
Oh, yes. And she is a good woman to me.
Okay. Well,
yes.
Well, good. So.
By the way, she also told me, no, Wendy, you know, that frontal temporal dementia. What in the world? You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I don't understand the diagnosis of frontal temporal dementia, because literally in your court papers, it says there is no single diagnostic test for FTD, and the process for diagnosing FTD on average takes more than 3 years from the disease's onset. So it hasn't even been enough time for them to properly test you for that yet. So I don't know why they're going around saying that you have that.
And how do you get that? Like, how do you get that? Like, what do you go through? I don't even know about it. I can't even Google it. I can't even scroll it through my phone. I don't have anything with me.
What they say for you, it was alcohol induced.
Well, I was talking about that, and you know what? I don't know anything about that specifically, but I do know that yes, you know what I'm saying? Who doesn't drink wine that turns into vodka, you know, at times in your life? You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you 100%, you can test me anytime you want. I am alcohol free. And listen, I am not part of that people who, oh my gosh, people who drink liquor. Oh, I hate them. It's not that I hate them at all. You know what I'm saying? It's my thing. that I care to take care of it on my own behalf. You know what I'm saying?
Did they have to retest you when you hired the new lawyer? Because they were saying that's something that
do they have to do what?
Did they retest you for your health or anything when you decided to hire the new lawyer?
Oh, no. I actually had, she was like a co-attorney, you know what I'm saying? So I fired the main attorney, you know what I'm saying, the other day, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you saw that on TV. I fired her.
Yeah.
And so stepping into attorney position is,
they
a
were
black woman. And I told you, you know.
We reported on it, Wendy, and they were what I was told was that the judge might ask just to get the retesting, just to make sure that when you're making these decisions about your attorney, you know what you're doing. And that would help you. That's what me and Jess were talking about. If they did do that. So I didn't know if that came up.
No, my attorney is very good to me. Sadat Salami.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's a very good attorney. She's been very good to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know all the intricacies, even after all these years, you know what I'm saying, of what an attorney does, what a judge does, what a guardian person does. Specifically, other than, my life. I'm done with this crap.
Well, we're rooting for you, and we're always here for you to get your messaging out. And I love when you call up because I think people are reminded of how erratic you are when you talk. So you're all over the place. So this has nothing to do with anything other than Wendy Williams being Wendy Williams.
Yeah, but it's disgusting that I have a fake frontal temporal dementia. It's fake.
Yeah, especially if somebody's trying to file a lawsuit on your behalf and they're using that to try to win this lawsuit against A&E, which you say you don't want no parts of the lawsuit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
by the way, Charlamagne, in the window, how does my liposuction and breast implant look?
You look tight. That's why I say you say you're not working out. You look tight.
You were snatched up, baby.
Yeah,
Thank you. Listen. When I saw through the window, on TMZ, I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I wish my bangs weren't so down, but you know what? It wasn't. It was the window, and I had to look down to talk. You know what I'm saying? And you couldn't see my.
Wendy's giving a whole. Only Wendy did this. I do think that this was something that she wanted to do. She wanted people to see where she was at, but only Wendy would be the one to be talking about her bangs at a moment like this. Just Wendy.
My whole body. You know what I'm saying?
So you should have stood up pulled the wig forward so we could see.
Listen.
If the wig ain't right, her world ain't right.
29 years ago, I got that done for me. Liposuction and breast implants.
Wow.
Just saying.
And they still sit.
People be having to go every 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. Listen.
Wendy was giving her best Me, Myself, and I Beyonce performance. What y'all don't see, what I cut off, was she was basically in a leotard. I had to cut that off, but she definitely prepped for this. She was probably breaking hearts all up and through the care facility.
All right, so everybody.
Oh, Wendy, real quick. I wanted to tell you, I was talking to Cardi B yesterday, and she said that when you come home, she wants to introduce you to some people because you just mentioned a couple of things. As far as getting a little nip tuck here and there, she was like, she wanted to introduce you to some people so you can get real right, so you can be back on your streets and find a man.
Listen, let me tell you something. Cardi B is my person of interest. You know what I'm saying? I love me some Cardi B. Thank you, Cardi B.
And one other thing.
I'll definitely take you up on that.
And I told you this before, but I want to say it publicly. There's a great new artist named Doechii. She just won a Grammy this past Sunday. She has a song called "Denial is a River," based off that time that woman called into the radio show to tell you that her husband was gay. Yes. And she just won a Grammy this past Sunday. And she reenacted that scene and everything. Who was the DJ she had in there with her, Lauren? It was Doechii and
I was back and forth watching that on TV.
Yes.
Yeah, I was back and forth watching that.
Okay.
I would join a Patreon where Wendy Williams reviewed the Grammys. I would join that Patreon. And the best thing that I think we can take from this particular interview is her lucid approach to answering the questions. This is reminiscent of Wendy of yesteryear. And it makes me feel like the alcohol was really the contributing factor in conversations like this.
I wish you would get liposuction. Okay. I will smoke when I smoke, and I will liquor when I liquor.
Anyway, this is not going to be a full hour-long video. I just wanted to bring you guys this. So what the attorney said, what might be happening within the next coming days. That court order was put out at the same time that they gave Wendy permission to go visit her family, as long as she had court-appointed handlers, I guess you could say. The order specifically says she was not allowed to talk to the media, and that was last week, which means that she is now in a place where she is not obeying the court order. The attorney said if they were the conservator, they would move to separate Wendy from her family. Like that would be you can't like sanction her. She doesn't have access to her money. She's already in a facility. So what would you do? Prevent her from seeing her family, specifically Alex, the one that went on the media tour with her. We all know, because we follow Wendy, that the most important things to her are going to be her family. Her son being number one, her father, her sister, who's Alex's mom. From the video, it looks like she's okay with her brother Tommy, her best friend, who was actually a really nice lady. The worst thing you could do for somebody in Wendy's shoes would be to separate her from those people who tether her to the world. So I'm hoping that whoever her new attorney is going to be able to like go to battle for her, because I would not be surprised after this interview dropped with Wendy sounding as lucid as she did that Sabrina Morrissey is going to be on the phone scheduling a hearing and saying she's violating the court order. But we will see. Definitely like the video. Don't know if I'll be back later tonight. Some stuff would have to pop off for me to come back. Maybe I'll do a smaller pre-recorded video. Either way, thank you guys for being here. Thanks for spending your lunch with me, and I'm going to see you later. Free Wendy.